So sometimes you may be a smaller person, less size and strength, so there's no way that you can defend yourself against somebody who has a hold of you or something by struggling and trying to fight them with force. So you have to develop the ability to have these snap strikes, hitting him in his metacarpals, on the radius, cheekbone, temple, nose. You want to hit specific points, and you want to be able to snap and explode on them. So make sure that when you're practicing with people to develop your techniques, you can just hit them without having that snap. Our next technique, as your opponent comes to punch, instead of starting with this back fist, you're starting like this. Straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guarding the arm again with your arm in case you have to guard it, because if it's up, he can hit you with the elbow or get you. If it's down, he can get you. If you're here in this position when he comes to get you with the other hand, you can be in a position to continue your strikes again. You're always covering that point. So when he comes, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you pick it, let's say you start it at a cadence, so you go 1, 2, 3. And I'm not, even on 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm covering this arm and I'm covering this arm. I'm always covering what he can do, because I don't want to be here where he can punch me in my face. That's the main thing. So when you're 1, 2, 3, then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the other side, when he comes to punch, you're always again attacking what's coming at you. And it's explosive. Even though I'm just hitting him with the back of my hand without closing my fist, I go 1, 1, 2, 3. So make sure that your opponent is covering himself so that you can't hit him. So when he comes 1, 2, 3, then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you're coming, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, you're guarding this arm. You're guarding what he can do here. Even if you were here and his hand was on this side, if he comes to punch you, you'd still have to roll around and go back into the first session of sticking and redirecting. So everything's going to go into each other as you get better. So in this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quicker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as long as you get your flow down and have the movements and covering your opponent's angles of attack or counter, that's the ticket here. Another one of our entries is as your opponent comes to strike you, again, you start like this instead of the back fist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Covering the hand again. Always covering the hand so that if somebody didn't know you were punching him, their hand wouldn't be there. He knows I'm punching him, so his hand is already preemptive here, just in case I hit him. So if his hand was here, he could be coming to punch me, and I'd have to be in this position. So even if he came to punch me here and I was doing fire techniques, it would be with the back of my fist. So when I come 1, 2, 3, I'm always in this position here. So you always have to be aware of what your opponent can do. Here, my opponent's hand is here because he knows preemptively that I'm going to hit him because I've done it repetitively. If his hand was here, he could come to punch me, and then I would come slapping again with my one knuckle to his arm. In this position here, when he came to punch me and I snapped again, I would continue snapping again and moving out of the way. Because you're never going to do techniques where you're hitting him and knocking him over. It's a different strategy. So the theories and strategies here are explosive. You don't have any body weight settling you down. There's no strength. It's always snap, explosive techniques, sort of like a nunchuck. A nunchuck, you could hit a heavy bag. It's not going to knock that heavy bag flying. But if it hits you in the head, it's going to split your head open. It's the same type of technique. From the other side, if he comes to punch me again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In most cases, you prefer not to strike on the inside of his arm, whether it to be in this position here or to be in this position here, because people don't usually throw one punch. It's a one mechanical motion that goes into the nets. But in this position where we were before, we're always covering our arm to do this technique. Now what we're doing now, it's instead of coming one, I'm crossing myself to do this. But remember, it's not like two techniques, it's a bounce to hit. And I'm slowing it down because I can do it much faster than he can bring his hand there. So when I bounce to hit, this is a snapping hit. So on this one, instead of turning inside, we're going to do a simultaneously hit with both hands. So when he comes to punch, it's at this point here. So you're loose, he's coming to punch, and you're coming with both at the same time. And when you once you get that technique done, and then from here you got to realize that we're even again. He's got his arm up. In most cases, a lot of people punch and their arms out. You've already hit him in the head. You can then change back over and hit him. You can do different things. But in this case, since he knows what I'm doing, he's already guarding this hand, and this hand is guarded at this point. Now I've got to get out. So there's things I could do. I could come in to do throws and stuff like that, but I'm not teaching throws right now. I'm teaching theories and strategies for hand techniques. So in this position here, what I'm going to do is come again for one of these fire hits, but instead of trampolining, it's going to pass it by. So when he comes to hit me, it's here again. So it's 1, 2 simultaneously. 3, 4, 5. Putting it together. On the other side, when he comes to hit, remember, you're striking a double strike. One with the back of your fist to his head and to his arms. Or when he comes, it's like 2 strikes simultaneously. Get good at it so when he comes, it's like, and remember, in this position, if I want to hit him, he could hit me. If I leave this hand, like this hand's covered. If his hand was out here like this, if I didn't hit him, I'd have to hit away again to avoid his hand from hitting me. You always got to be aware of what the person can do who you're fighting. So in this position, when he comes to hit me and I'm in this position, I'm going to hit this out to follow my strikes up. So the technique will go like this.